Okay, in this video I want to show you how to change the host name of a Raspbian for Robots SD card. So currently I'm on the same network and I've got a dex.local Raspbian for Robots SD card running. I can go ahead and check that if I do dex.local, and you can see I'm responding to dex.local. So go ahead and Control-C that. What I'm going to do is actually change the name of this Raspbian image from dex.local to dexter.local. And I could do that very easily. I'm going to go ahead and power down my Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to take the SD card and open it up with either my Mac or my PC. I'm going to open it in File Explorer or in Finder. And I'm going to look for a file called hostname right there. Okay, so I've got my dex.local SD card in place, and I found this file called hostname. If I open up boot after I put the SD card in, the SD card mounts to the Mac, and then in the home directory of the SD card, I've got a file called hostnames. So what I'm going to do is open it up as a text file, and I go to Launchpad and I start typing in text. And you'll have by default this program called Text Edit. That'll be in your Mac. And what I want to do is open up hostnames in Text Edit. So if I just go to File, Open, and then select the boot again, the SD card, and then scroll down to hostnames. And I go ahead and open that file. I'll close this for clarity. So this is my file hostnames. You can see that the name on it now is just Dex, D-E-X. So what I'm going to do is change that to ter, because Dexter, I'm going to add T-E-R, and I've got no space or anything after Dexter. That's just the new host name. So if you wanted to change this to Dex1 or Dex2, you could just call it Dex1 or Dex2. I'm going to call it Dexter, and then I'm going to save the file. And I'm going to close out of the text editor, and from boot I'm going to go ahead and eject it. We'll see it disappear. There we go. I'll go ahead and remove the file. Okay, so we're back now. We've just powered up the Raspberry Pi. You can see the ACT light is blinking, and we're going to let that run for about 5 minutes. And once the ACT light stops blinking, we'll go ahead and just remove the power. So we've got nothing else hooked up to the Raspberry Pi, but we just want to let it run. And what it'll do is it'll run a script on the Raspberry Pi, and it's going to rename the host from Dex to Dexter.local. Great, so the ACT light has stopped running. I'm going to go ahead and power it down. If I power it back up, I'll let it come online, and the next thing we'll do is put an Ethernet port in, and we'll try to connect to Dexter.local. Okay, so back on our computer, we've got the Raspberry Pi. It's been restarted twice with long 5-minute intervals in the middle, and it's now connected back to the same network that our MacBook or our Mac is connected to. And let's go ahead and see what's on our network. If I go ahead and in terminal type ping dex.local, the original name, we'll see if I get any type of response. See, it's got unknown host, but if I type in ping dexter.local, the new name, I get an immediate response. So the SD card, the host name on the SD card has been changed, and now the Raspberry Pi responds to Dexter rather than Dex. And that's sort of how you change it. One other tool that I just wanted to point out while you're watching is a great tool called Bonjour Browser, and I'll put a link where you can see where to download it. It's a very simple program that allows you to sort of browse what's on your network, and if you scroll down, I can see what's on there. I can actually see Dexter, and I can see the IP number that Dexter has taken on the network. This helps, I think, if you're having trouble seeing your Raspberry Pi on a local network. This is super helpful program, very simple and free. So leave it at that. That's how you change the host name of your Raspberry Pi in a Mac.